Hey guys, we're here today to go over the Zomei 18-inch LED ring light. It's the light that I'm using to actually illuminate this scene right now. The effects it creates is pretty cool, but let's just go ahead and jump into the full review and go over all of it. Okay, so when I first got this light, I pulled it out of the box. To be honest, I was a little bit skeptical about the build quality on it. It was much lighter than I thought it was gonna be for some reason, and it feels a little bit cheap. It's just like, it feels like hollow plastic, but it is hollow plastic, and LED diodes are not very heavy. So it's got like 480 LED diodes going all the way around here, and I'm sure they're just on the, the printed circuit board, so there's not a whole lot internally, and LEDs are very light. So that kind of makes sense. I did knock it off of this dining room table I have behind me onto the wooden floor, and it survived. None of the LED diodes went out. Everything is fine. So I feel a little bit better about it. So I guess let's just kind of look at the build quality, or the build of the light. So the light is 18 inches from top to bottom on the outside, and like 14 inches on the inside here. We'll dial this down here now. We'll look at the back. Whoops. And we'll show you what we got kicking back here. So we've got a fuse box right here, a little fuse port. Came with an extra fuse. I just went ahead and taped it on here so I don't lose it. We've got your on or off. When you turn it on, there is a slight delay, and then it clicks on. And then on the top, we've got your color temperature. And right here, we'll kind of show you like this. And it goes from a very kind of warm light, and we'll get in here so you can see that. There you go. So it goes from very warm all the way through to a very, very cold light. And then as far as power intensity, it goes from completely off at the dial, and as you turn the dial, at first it jumps just a little bit, and it's not super noticeable on video, but you do notice it with your eyes. And then once you get to about, I'd say 35% power, it's very smooth all the way up, and it gets very, very bright. Now the auto exposure on this camera is going to mess with the way you see this a little bit, but it is fully adjustable, and it has a pretty wide range of color temperature, and the dial is very sensitive. So if you're looking for like an exact color temperature, you should be able to find it. Now this light doesn't come with a light stand. It has a typical light stand attachment on the bottom here, so you can use any regular old light stand. It did come with this little adapter, which is a typical light stand type of adapter. It also came with this little cell phone mount, cheap cell phone mount. I have a few of these, they're not bad. It comes with this little small ball head adapter right here. And then it came with this, and this was kind of odd. This is like a little hot shoe adapter mount. And you pull this apart, and then there's like a little hot shoe. I don't really know what this is meant to be used for with this light. At the very top, there's a small slit up here that you can slide this hot shoe into, but it doesn't tighten down very well, and I don't know why you would want to mount something to the top of this. So this is just kind of a throwaway thing. I don't know if I ever use it. Now, let's go ahead here, and we'll do this with the light kind of dim. It's, we'll turn it on just a tiny, now let's just turn it off so you can see. Okay, so right here we got a 1/4 inch hole, and so you're going to go ahead and be able to screw this little adapter right there into the 1/4 inch mounting hole, and then you're going to put your ball head on the top here, and then you're going to put your cell phone adapter right here. And this thing works really well with cell phones. Cell phones are taking really good pictures these days. The only issue I have with the way this setup works is that your cell phone is going to be going in the landscape orientation, and now you can move your camera over so that your camera lens is in the center. You want to get it as centered as possible to get the best effect around the eyes. However, if you want to shoot in a portrait orientation, it kicks the phone way over to the side, and it messes with that effect just a little tiny bit. So there's a couple things that I would recommend that you get along with this. So if you don't already have a light stand, there's a way to utilize this and just use any existing tripod that you already have, and that is to get one of these little mamma jammas. This is a 1/4 inch 20 coupler. 1/4 inch 20 is just the type of screw hole that all cameras have on the bottom, and those are the type of mounts that you can see on a tripod quick release plate, or the tripod mounting plate. I picked this up at Ace for $3. You can then take this, screw this into this end, make sure everything is nice and tight, take a tripod mounting plate like a yo, screw this in, and again, you wanna make sure everything's really tight. If there's any wiggle to it, and if you're shooting with the light at an angle and there is any play, you could damage the threads to your mounting plate. So make sure that this is nice and tight, but then there, bam, now you can mount this on any tripod. You could pick up a cheap tripod at Walmart or Amazon for probably $5 to $10, and that'll be totally adequate for keeping this light up. And then I would recommend picking up this tripod or this little ball head mount. I forget the exact name of it, but I've bought a few of them and I will link down below to it. These are super useful. This one is great because you've got your typical 1/4 inch mount on the top right here, so this can go into your camera or into the cell phone mount, and on the bottom right here, so if you're putting it on another tripod. But what's handy and works perfectly with this is this thing unscrews. So we got that, and now we've got a little ball head with 1/4 inch on either end. You can then put that right into the light like this, perfect, and then you're gonna wanna get a little cell phone holder like this, not the one that it is included with. This one has the mounts on the bottom, but it also has the mounts on the back. And the reason you want it on the back is once we get this mounted right here, you can, let's loosen this up, and I'm hitting the light, turn this off. And then you can mount it like this, and then you can put your cell phone in it in a portrait mode, and you're gonna keep your lens towards the center. It's really easy to actually align the lens vertically, so this way from top to bottom, it's smack dab in the middle, and you're just gonna be a little bit off left or right depending on where the lens placement is on your camera. I will link to one of these little phone adapters in the description below as well, but these are gonna cost you a few bucks. This little ball head is like $12, and if you do a lot of photography, these things are great, super durable. It's like a nylon type of plastic, very, very, very tough. So let's actually move this light around right here and take a look at some of the effects it'll create. Now we'll go ahead and turn this on. I'm gonna kill this other light we got going right here. Now, there we go. So we're gonna shoot through it, and that's what we're doing right here. So you can go from very, very dim. Now if you go really dim, let's see here, move this there so we don't have the outside windows showing, and they're still there a little bit, so we'll go there. Okay, so now if it's gonna focus on me, sorry, I know I'm not looking at the lens. Okay, there's focus. Now, if you've got it really dim, you can still see I've got that cool kind of ring effect in my eye, but you can really see the background. If you crank up the volume on the light output, the way that your autofocus is gonna work on your camera or on your cell phone, it really kills the background. And so now your subject, the person, is gonna be really what you're gonna see. You're not gonna notice a whole lot of the background right there, so you can really crank it up. Now this is the really cool light. I like the cool light for black and whites because it creates a lot of contrast. And then you can dial it down warmer and it gets all the way to the warm end. Now this may be too warm for a lot of people's tastes, but it's really an artistic thing. I kind of like it dialed back just a little bit, just about like that. And another thing that you can do with this, and this is something that you'll notice a lot more in still images, is you can actually block bits and pieces of this ring light off. So if you look closely at my eyes, you'll see that part of it is blocked off, and you can see where I'm actually blocking the light off. If you use something like, here, we'll just pull this placemat up, but put the placemat on here and kill the bottom half. Now if you look closely, you'll see I've just got like a ring around the top part of my eyes. It's pretty cool, so you can get pretty creative with it. The effects that this light creates is awesome. I love it. Like I said, I do wish that it felt a little bit more solid, but so far it has taken a digger and it survived. So for 120 bucks, and it's the cheapest 18-inch, like this size light ring I could find on Amazon. I didn't see anything cheaper with this many lights. I think I saw one with like 240 LEDs in it, but it's not gonna put as much lumens out as this, and that was just slightly less expensive. So I think it's a pretty good deal. If I have any problems or anything, I will remark down below later on, so I will update this if this thing dies on me or if we start having LED diodes going out. But I've been using it for about a week and a half, 2 weeks now, and I love it. I love the effect. Taking pictures with it is a ton of fun, and if you're doing YouTube videos, product photography, this is a nice smooth light on a tabletop, things like that. So yeah, if you have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to ask in the comments below. Thanks.